Our organization has grown in a space of less than a year to a membership that's more than 20,000. So, I mean, that does speak volumes, and it does say for by-elections not so long ago, and I think you did an interview.
Yes, I mean, that was a shocker. That was.
Yeah, we came out second in that specific ward, and it was not because, I don't know what people would assume it's
And
for.
you whipped EFF in Northwest.
You understand.
Let's go.
Kilebogile Moraka from ELF South Africa.
Okay.
I'm one of the young, I think most of us are young in that organization. And I believe it's an organization for young people, essentially. Not that we are keeping the old people out, but I was very proud when, during our manifesto over the weekend on the 11th of May, we had old people there, and upon engagement with young people, they resonated with whatever that we were engaging on. So, yeah, as much as we may be majority young people, but we are understanding each other in terms of where we need to go as a country, along with the elderly.
So you are a youth leader?
Yes, so I'm one of the youth leaders in the organization.
And what do you define as youth in your organization? Have you ever got to that to define what a youth is?
So essentially the organization is still young. It's still growing, and there's potential for growth. And at this point, we are not at a point where we want to divide this growth of this organization into different segments and say, this is the women's league, this is the youth league. We are not yet at that point.
Okay. We
are still growing, but extensively growing at a rate that at this point maybe it is essential, but I just feel that it's crucial that we get the main message out, and we resonate with our communities first. But because before you are a youth leader or you're a woman, you're a community member first. And it's crucial that we highlight that within the organization, that before anything, let us speak to the essentials that we are facing as communities. So we are not at a point where we've just decided that we are dividing to the differences.
Also, you don't have these structures, women's league. It's just that you just demarcate, but there's no formal youth
structure
league
yet.
No, that's good. That's good.
So, hence I said the party is still young. I think over time we are getting there. We will allow ourselves the platform to then section ourselves out. Our organization has grown in a space of less than a year to a membership that's more than 20,000. So, I mean, that does speak volumes, and it does say to us that we are resonating to a lot of community members. But for us to now section it out and divide these groups, it would not make sense when we have not spoken to the main people, which are communities. So we had to reach out to our communities first.
Thank you. Talking about growing,
yes,
yourselves and another political party called UAT,
yes,
are on my list of the surprise packages that we have this year.
Yes.
I'm crossing fingers for you guys because you're on my surprise list.
Okay.
They, however, have 1 million members, they say.
Yes.
And you guys, you've just said 20. So I want you to tell me, ELF has bases in Venda. And even though you do have bases in Venda, no regional party wants to tell itself that they are a regional party.
Well,
do you think ELF is a regional party?
Well, not necessarily. Look,
okay.
We are looking at contesting 5 provinces as we speak, right? We are contesting nationally, and we are there on the regional ballot. But I would not necessarily want to niche ourselves into a regional organization. We are beyond that. We resonate to every South African essentials. Essentially, as an organization,
do you mind when South African jobs are given to people who are not South African, if South Africans can do that job?
Look, I think essentially South Africans should be prioritized, right? We cannot be giving away jobs when our unemployment rate is so high, right? So we need to prioritize South Africans in terms of job placement, especially given the unemployment rate and the situation, unless it's a scarce skill. But even when it's a scarce skill, what should essentially happen is, why are we not developing our own people to have those scarce skills? Why are we not training them to ensure that they attain the scarce skills?
Would your political party spend over $1 trillion to build a wall because it's afraid of policing its own laws?
No.
You wouldn't?
No, I think I did say that we are proactive. We are a proactive organization, and in our proactiveness, we are ensuring that we put solutions that not only, we cannot run away from the reality. The reality is to deal with with whatever the problem is. Don't run away from the problem. Find a solution to the problem. And I think we've done that with so many things. And in our attempt to curb this unemployment, we are running a security program. We are not charging any of these people. We are talking to community members. This program is not just limited to our members. We are speaking to communities to enroll them in a security program so that at least they have a skill. Because looking at the crime rate in communities...
I'm a liberator. I saw a qualification criteria.
Yes.
Said you must be a member.
No.
It didn't?
No.
Okay.
It's communities. I don't know. So we are reaching out to communities. And
so even if you're not a member, you can benefit.
Enroll.
All right.
Right. So essentially, that's why I say that we are not about serving our members. This organization is about serving communities and ensuring that this country supersedes its current circumstances. And essentially, we are essentially speaking to the economy and not just the other issues at hand. But we are running that program. We are trying to curb this unemployment, curb the crime issue, and what we've picked up, especially with the security and cleaners, contractors will employ people under these posts and not pay them as per the agreed terms.
Yes.
Or what the regulation stipulates they must be paid. And that is why we then find our fellow South Africans frustrated. It's unfair to the youth, it's unfair to our community members, because what is the cost of living at this day and age, and you're still decreasing the bare minimum that they're supposed to be getting?
Do you have anything on the caregivers, the nannies, and the...
Yes, so hence we said that we need to regulate, right? So in terms of policy, we must regulate these incomes, right? And we should essentially be taking in our own people, equipping them with the correct skills, so that when they provide such services, we know you're getting good quality of work, but we must groom our people to equally deliver good quality and pay them accordingly.
Thank you.
Yes.
What is it about the ELF that you think people are taking for granted or may not know, and it might surprise them?
I think the practicality of our solutions is what people take for granted. Look, we ran for by-elections not so long ago, and I think you did an interview.
Yes, I mean, that was a shocker. That was...
Yeah, we came out second in that specific ward, and it was not because, I don't know what people would assume it's
and
for.
You whipped EFF in Northwest.
You understand. It's because we are bringing practical solutions. And even post that, we continuously engage with those community members to see how best we can resolve their challenges. And we don't, like I said, we don't run away from a challenge. We find and mitigate a solution to resolve these issues that communities are essentially facing.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. And I've said to the other liberators who got here, I wish you all the best. Like I said, you are on my list of surprises. And I hope you come back after the elections to tell us how did you do it.
Well, look, we won't be hard on ourselves, and I think it's upon the youth, right? As the youth, we are like majority registered voters, and this is the platform to say to the youth, this is our time. We are the deciders. We determine the fate of this country. So it's upon us as young people to make that decision. What are the stats? I think we are 40% around there, registered youth, right? So let us take that responsibility upon ourselves and ensure that we are the ones that determine the fate of this country and the way forward. Because if we don't do that, let's then not complain later about the outcomes. But essentially, it's upon us. Let us ensure that we do the right thing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ola.
Sure.